Good evening, this is David Benedict A. Ricardo, recording for his Pubmat A. Pubmat B will come in a separate video, but for now, let's just get on with it. Sir Arias, for Pubmat A, we were faced with a question, what in Freud's past could have influenced his personality development theory, his childhood and whatnot. Now, in order for us to even get an inkling of what Freud could have of what factors could have possibly influenced Freud in his personality development theory, we'll first have to know the man himself. So, Sigmund Freud was an Austrian neurologist and founder of psychoanalysis. It's a clinical method for treating psychopathology or psychopathology. It's mostly done through a dialogue between a patient and their psychoanalyst or doctor. Now, Freud's background was he was a researcher and a medical doctor around the late 19th century, somewhere around that. And Yes, so Freud, as we all know, is famous for his psychosexual theories, or rather, his work on psychosexual theory, which at the time was more or less influenced by the growing interest in the said subject. That's why Freud himself studied it, because at the time it was on the rise in terms of the study in the psychology at the time. But also, since he was a Jew living in the late 19th century Vienna, which was at the time deeply anti-Semitic, or anti-Semitic, as one would say, Freud developed a deep interest in the psychology of human aggression. This developed his concept for the Thanatos, or otherwise known as the death drive or the death instinct, as well as the eros, or the life instinct, which he believed was a universal human instinct towards self-destruction. That's the Thanatos again, or the death instinct, towards destruction and aggression towards others. And also, Freud had a background in biology and neuroscience, which inspired him to develop a theory of the mind, which was grounded in the workings of the brain, which he believed was a physical organ that was subject to the same laws of, cause and effect, give and take, as any other part of the body. But it's also well known, like I said, that Freud at the time, or rather, Freud's work in modern times is well known for his psychosexual theory. And that, give me a few moments here, I'm just checking my notes. Because Freud's psychosexual theories, or his interest in psychosexual theory rather, stemmed in his belief that human behavior and personality were largely determined by unconscious psychological forces and early childhood experiences. He believed that sexual and aggressive instincts were, shall we say, the main factors in human behavior. And that, the way these instincts were expressed and resolved during childhood had a profound impact on adult personality and behavior. Freud at the time was also heavily influenced by the cultural and intellectual climate of his time, like I said previously, which was marked by, like I said, at the time, there was a very, very much a growing interest in sexual and psychological topics. As well as, at the time as well, the fields of psychology and psychiatry were emerging fields of science. He was very particularly interested in the work of his mentor, which was I believe John Martin Charcot, or Charcot. I'm not sure how you pronounce his name. He was this French neurologist who was studying the effects of hypnosis and hysteria. So overall, these factors are what led to Freud working on his personality development theories. The factors such as, like I said, the life instinct and the death instinct, Thanatos and Eros. Thanatos for death, Eros for life. Most likely, these are references to the Greek gods of their respective pantheons. Eros, of course, being the god of love and life, and Thanatos being the god of death. Most of the time, people confuse Thanatos with Hades, but in Greek mythology, Thanatos is the god of death. So I believe that is where the theory would derive from. So this for my Pubmat A. Pubmat B will come in another video. And thank you for listening, and I hope you have a good day, sir.